From challenging the most powerful and disrespectful atheist Hollywood think tank to showing hypocrite and gutless celebrities their real face, Matthew McConaughey never missed a chance to humiliate arrogant and brainless celebrities of Hollywood.
Now, first off, I want to thank God, because that's who I look up to. He's graced my life with opportunities that I know are not of my hand or any other human.
This isn't just a one-time story. His love for God and the way he speaks about God in such a real, personal way has always driven atheist Hollywood types insane. On top of that, his presence, his character, it's so solid no one dares to confront him face to face.
And I remember writing things like, during the making of that movie, like, science is the practical pursuit of God. The two are not exclusive. They dance together. They go.
He's always bold, clear, and fearless when it comes to his beliefs. Even the most anti-God person alive would think twice before questioning him. Forget the rest of the Hollywood elite.
A little indigestion, but come on. Been working on this hairline for a while. God, give me a break on that one. The way God designed our bodies is a model for understanding our lives together in society, as well as in the church.
Even Joe Rogan was straight up impressed by Matthew's faith in God. He was clearly shocked, like, how does a guy like this survive in an industry where trashing God and mocking believers is practically a badge of honor? Even crazier, like, how did he not just survive but actually thrive in Hollywood? That's literally unbelievable.
Like, are you taking the Bible at its literal word, or do you use it as some sort of a guidebook of the experiences?
Sure, you can throw any question about God at Matthew, but don't think the answer will be what you want to hear. It's going to be what he believes, delivered with the kind of raw intensity that only he can bring.
It's not saying that there's parts of the Bible that people have bastardized and used in the wrong way. But you don't throw the whole book out and say, well, it's all bad then.
Matthew is a walking threat to those celebs who love to rule out anything related to God and spirituality. But the man who made Interstellar unforgettable, he's not letting some pseudo-intellectuals mess with his mind or beliefs.
I was as strong spiritually with my relationship with God when I did True Detective as I've ever.
And no, Matthew wasn't some devout religious guy from day one, not even close. He turned to religion and spirituality because nothing else he believed in was answering the questions in his head. He came back to faith, found real peace in it, and has openly said that actually living that belief changed his life completely.
I had gone through a few years earlier in my life of agnosticism, where I was not so much trying to prove a non-existence of God as I was trying to understand more self-reliance and self-determination.
There's something powerful about a man who doesn't just drift. Matthew McConaughey isn't letting the woke world toss him around. He grabs the wheel, stares straight ahead, and moves. Not aimlessly, intentionally. In a town full of lost souls chasing empty fame, he's tuned into something higher, something real.
I did engineer putting myself in a position to receive them. Yeah. I got conscious of that. Yeah. But like, dude, you got to take a road trip, or you got to take a walkabout. You need to go away solo. I'm lost.
Most Hollywood stars take a spa day, but Matthew goes to war with himself. He retreats alone, confronts his demons, and bleeds in the silence until the truth hits him like lightning. That's not weakness. That's ancient strength. Something these smug red carpet atheists wouldn't recognize if it hit them in the face.
How is there something, because you think of God as the prime mover, how is there anything instead of nothing?
I don't. This is a ridiculous
Is there a
premise.
prime mover? Is there a demiurge that started everything?
Well, outside science and nature, I don't believe so.
Unlike other Hollywood celebs, even when Matthew doubted God, he felt it. That presence, that whisper behind the curtain. Hollywood mocks belief, preaches nihilism, but this man saw God wink back. Not because he was perfect, but because he was honest enough to admit he's not in charge. That takes more guts than any Oscar speech.
Way to put your hands on the wheel. Too many of us just lay back and go, Inshallah, if God's willing. Hey, it's about fate. If it happens, it happens. My hunch is that's not.
God doesn't do it all for you. You don't get to lay back and say, if it's meant to be. That lazy atheistic fatalism? Nah. Matthew shows us, you show up, you get in the car, you grip the wheel, and you drive, but you stay open. That's how heaven meets earth.
Stories? I thought 90% of my success in life were going to be the stuff I engineered. I moved it. The majority of the big spiritual things happen in my life, I didn't do it. It happened.
Here's what's wild. The biggest wins in Matthew's life didn't come from planning. They came when he let go. Not because he gave up because he had faith. He showed up with his shoes on, and then the mystery took over. Try explaining that to a Hollywood exec who worships algorithms.
Did I get myself out the door?
Yeah.
Did I put on my
Yeah,
proverbial
you
shoes?
participated.
Yeah.
You did your part.
But it happened
yeah.
to me. I wasn't making the math. I wasn't making the poetry.
There's a beauty in not knowing, in embracing mystery. But try telling that to the A-list elite who need control like they need Botox. They fear what they can't measure. Matthew? He trusts it. That's real masculinity. That's real spirituality. That's why Hollywood can't figure him out and never will.
I'm happiest and most connected spiritually when all day, when I'm praying with my eyes open, when this is a prayer, when every exchange is a...
Spirituality isn't locked in a pew. For Matthew, prayer happens everywhere. In conversations, in moments, in presence. He lives his prayer. While others are busy mocking faith on Twitter for likes, he's living in alignment, rooted in something deeper than applause.
Come Friday, I kind of need Sunday morning. I need that church. I need to go to that place to do inventory on the loved one.
All week, he's out there moving, giving, living. But even he needs Sunday, a quiet reset, inventory on the heart, not performative, not polished, just real, reflective, grateful. Meanwhile, half of Hollywood wakes up hungover and hollow, pretending they don't need anything beyond themselves. Guess who's happier?
So you're in this like completely non-natural environment. It's usually a conference room in a production office. And you're in this non-natural environment with these smug people that have this massive amount of power over you. And it shapes the way people communicate.
Hollywood hates humility because humility means admitting you don't know everything. And that's career suicide in a world where every actor thinks they're a prophet. Matthew gets it now. Humility isn't shrinking. It's standing tall with your heart wide open, knowing the journey isn't done. That's strength.
And then I heard a definition that humility was just admitting you got more to learn. And all of a sudden that one my shoulders went back. My heart got high. I was like, oh, I'm in.
Yeah.
Read that again. More to learn, not less to be. Matthew didn't shrink. He grew. He unlocked a deeper version of himself that Hollywood's self-obsessed egos can't touch. Because when your identity isn't built on clout, but on calling, you become untouchable.
We have, there's the nightly ritual around the table.
Before dinner?
Yeah. Which everyone goes around. Give us one thing you're grateful for. There's, my wife loves to do it with all the kids before they go to bed.
While other celebrities are trying to indoctrinate their kids with political talking points and false gods of vanity, McConaughey's raising his children in gratitude, in presence, in faith. You want to know what legacy looks like? It's not trending, it's tradition.
What they have is a conglomeration of opinions that they've adopted because they think it'll be beneficial for their career. Because their career is they're insecure people that go to a place where they're going to get rejected a lot. Right. It is the worst thing ever for their mental health.
Rejecting such shit, Matthew is teaching his kids duality every night, that life is joy and struggle, that there's value in both. That's more truth than you'll find in 100 Hollywood scripts. You think the average actor is asking their kid about thorns? No. They're too busy grooming the next Instagram influencer.
Here's when I feel the most spiritual. When I'm looking at men like brothers and women like sisters. And that's not all the time. I can start to objectify.
That right there, that's soul vision. Hollywood objectifies everything. Bodies, relationships, and success. Like literally everything that has anything to do with emotions or spirituality. But Matthew sees, he lifts others up, he honors people. And you can bet that makes him a threat in a town built on tearing others down to climb higher.
When I'm seeing men like brothers and women like sisters, and being a big brother, seeing youth and going, oh, be a big brother to them. That's when I'm moving everything. It's not just me moving my head. Everything's connected for me, and I'm the most spiritually strong.
Now that's a sermon. It's not either or, it's both. You do your best, you grip that wheel, but you accept you're not God. That balance, that's rare. And that's why Matthew walks with peace, while others just stumble from one photo shoot to the next, lost behind their filters.
End of the book. I have crossed many truths in my life that I know and believe to be true. Have I lived up to them? No. I'm working on it. What are we really doing in this life? What's it really all about? What's it really?
Of course it's believable. Life is a miracle. Every moment is divine. But atheistic Hollywood, they've sterilized wonder, made magic a myth. McConaughey calls out that lie. He doesn't just believe, he knows. And that knowing shakes their shallow foundations.
That happens. And trust, like I say, my least favorite word's unbelievable. That everything happens. Oh, well, yeah, of course. When I'm most spiritually strong, I've got the best sense of humor. My humor's high.
You can feel when someone's rooted. They laugh easier. They're not rattled. That's Matthew, spiritually grounded. That's why he can handle chaos with a grin. Meanwhile, those who deny the Spirit, constant outrage, constant offense. Because without God, every molehill becomes a mountain.
When I'm not as spiritually strong, would irk me, or oh, are you kidding me? How the fuck did that happen? No, I'm not there. I'm much more quickly going,
how ridiculous.
Of course. Okay. Yeah. Shame on me for thinking I had it all handled. You know what I mean?
That's maturity. That's accountability. That's a man willing to be corrected, willing to laugh at himself. Hollywood avoids shame like the plague, but Matthew embraces it, learns from it, and grows. That's what makes him real. That's what makes him rare.
And there were people in the crowd that I have prayed with before dinners many times. And when I thank God, I saw some of those people go to clap, but then notice that, whoa, this could be a bad thing on my resume, and then sit back on their hands.
In the end, it's not about fame, it's not about wealth, it's about alignment. Matthew McConaughey has found a frequency that most of Hollywood can't hear and doesn't want to. Because to find it, you'd have to admit you're not the center of the universe. And let's be honest, most of them can't handle that.
Liberal side gives and should give. To throw somebody's, illegitimize them because they say they are a believer.
Do you agree with Matthew McConaughey's opinions about woke liberals? Which of his comments on God, religion, and spirituality resonated with you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing content like this. See you in the next video.